Hi, the Chesterfield Township Library has allowed me, Mr. Mike, to do another drawing video with you guys. Today, this one is for my friend Charlie. We are going to do a train. I'm going to do one specifically in the style of Ed Emberley, and if you don't know who Ed Emberley is, get thee to the library and look at his awesome books. Ed is how I kind of got my shapes going when I was younger as well for all of these wonderful drawings. So today, I'm going to show you basically the basic shapes. I do use white paper, rulers on occasion if I need to for straighter lines. I don't have black marker. I use wonderful 6H pencils, sometimes 2Bs, all those wonderful ones we use in school. I have my eraser, and I do trace shapes with different objects around the house. So quarters, bottoms of red Solo cups, whatever I have sitting around makes more sense to me and the basic shapes I need. So this gets going here. Basic shapes are triangles, circles, and squares. I have circles for the wheels. I have a rectangle for the chassis. More rectangles for the cab. The bell half circle, the smokestack rectangle, square for the light. I am going to put a face on the front of the train. I enjoy that kind of feature very much. So a half circle for the front, and my cow pusher will be a triangle for the front. Tracks will be last. Not all of them are smooth. We know how that feels. So I'm going to walk away from this side, put myself on a piece of paper in front, and we're going to begin. What I like to do is I took a Solo cup and I traced out a nice circle for the back wheel. So I want to start with the back wheel first. Nice big circle around, all the way around until it stops where I started. And now I'm going to do the rectangle. So starting in the center of that circle, I'm going to go across, keep going through the circle, and go all the way, about a quarter of the way through. I do measure with my fingers, so I'm about 4 fingers away from my circle. Yours might need a couple more. So this is 4 fingers wide, 4 fingers tall. Those artists like to measure, not necessarily with the ruler, but with their fingers as well. So now that I've got the line through it, I'm going to go up about 3 fingers tall, straight up, and on the back side, 3 fingers tall as well. I like to go up, and I'm going to make contact straight across now. I connect the dots and make one big rectangle. So I have a rectangle and a circle kind of riding on the back side of that. At the other end of that circle, since I have one line going up, I'm going to keep going up for that chassis. So just beyond my rectangle, I'm going to jump over to the other side of that circle and go straight up through the rectangle and start with the chassis. I'm going to need a crib on top because it's rainy on top. Rain comes down and probably gets everybody wet, so I'm going to put a nice little cap and put a line across the cab, up and up for the roof, and back across for the cab. It's got to hold it by something. Those 2 little bars are pretty thin, so I'm going to give 2 more bars to hold it up. Okay. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole lot of details at this point, but I do the cow catcher. So at the front, I'm going to go down this line, straight down, almost the same depth as my wheel. And I'm going to go forward. And if you look at a triangle, it's almost like a tractor at this point. So my cow pusher is going to go back and make my 3rd point. I'm going to need that front end of my train. So starting at the top of the engine, it's going to go around and touch the cow catcher for a half circle. Now those wheels at the bottom, they're going to ride on the wheels. So I need 2 small wheels in the front, 1 wheel, and 2 wheels. Again, I traced a quarter to do this. I kind of kept the line as best I could for the tracks won't be too bumpy. It doesn't really connect to my chassis and my boiler, so I'm going to need to go down and make a triangle to tie it all together, like little angry owl eyes almost. Train's looking pretty good, but it needs to get rid of all that hot steam in there, so I need that smokestack. I'm going to make a rectangle toward the front of my engine and kind of cap it off. I can make as fancy as I want with it. So now I'm going to go up diagonal, the other side of the rectangle, diagonal, cap it. I can stop there, or I can be even more fancy and go angle toward each other, and then line across so it has a little bit more definition to it. Needs a bell, so right in the middle of my boiler, I'm going to put a little half circle there for the boiler, a little knob on top for the ringing of the bell. I'm just going to cut that in half just to make it a little more fancy. I need a light on the front. I can either put lights on the sides, or I'm going to go straight up this line here and make a square. So it's going to go up, forward just a little bit, down a little bit, and then back toward the chassis. That's about as fancy as I'm going to get for my shapes. Now I'm going to put in some details. My back wheel, I'm going to start in the center of my circle and go down. I'm going to cut that in half, make a spoke. I'm also going to take that center again and go, that was from center to 6. Now I'm going to center to about 4 o'clock. Now I'm going to do it again from center to about 8 o'clock. Now I can do these circles pretty quickly. I can go top to bottom, top to bottom. I can go right to left to right through the middle, and then make an X right through that. Now my wheels are pretty identical. Now I said I want to make a face on it, and I do. So what I want to do is right in the front, right in the middle of my half circle, I'm going to make another half circle. Can you guess? That looks like a nose to me. Now I need a little eye. Another circle, an eyeball in it so we can see where he's going. I love the little triangle eyebrows. Oh, I need a smiley face. So underneath the nose, I'm going to start, go up toward the eye, and make my little smile wrinkle at the end of my face. Now I need the light. It's going to have to shine down, so my square is going to go forward just a little bit, and then a little triangle, so it kind of directs the light forward. Make a little detail of a half circle on top, so it looks almost like a hat. He's looking pretty good, but I'm going to cut that boiler in half, so I'm going to make some stripes and some details. So I'm going to take that boiler, I'm going to go half right through the middle of my rectangle. It needs to be held together by rivets, kind of important to hold this thing together. So I'm going to make one tiny little circle, and then a stripe above it. I'll make another tiny circle, and a stripe right next to that one. A tiny little circle, and a stripe right there, and a circle right there. Oh, that looks pretty good. It needs to kind of tie together. We need to be able to put on these little calves and coals and everything on the back of it. So I'm going to pick a little bit of a line with a little ball on the end so it can hook up to another train if necessary. Oh, I can't go anywhere without a driver, so I am going to give this my driver in the cab here. I'm going to give him a circle for a head, a little triangle for a body. He's going to have a cap, so I can stop right there, or I'm going to give him an engineer cap and make a half circle on top of his head. He's looking pretty good, but this train is going to be bumpy. It's not going to go very far. So what I'm going to do is I need to make some tracks. Oh, we have some bumps all over the place, so we need to make it nice and straight. I'm going to do the best I can to make a straight line. I need to touch the bottom of the wheels as I go. So underneath my train, it's going to go touch one wheel, touch two wheels, touch the third wheel, and keep going. That's a fairly straight line. So underneath it, I'm going to make one more line that runs parallel. Parallel lines are lines that do not touch, that will run infinite next to each other, and they shouldn't bump into each other. Well, he's looking pretty done there. I can put a train number on it if I want. I can put as much detail as I'd like, but I'm going to wrap this up here. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope you enjoy it. Get out to the library, get some books. They're not necessarily books on trains, but the books are on shelves. Thank you, Sam, for that joke. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Keep reading, keep drawing. Bye.